Hello, thank you for being here with me. I'm a veteran on the industry. I did this work, this color correction work from the very early 2000s. So when the first time I saw an LG TV, you have to imagine what we do is having this perfect viewing environment with these very expensive monitors, the reference monitor. We know we can make it look like the cinematographer intended. So we get this beautiful image on it, and it's exactly what we expect to see. Matter of fact, we use for client review all the time. It's the perfect monitor. There are two aspects of it. One is, of course, if everybody want to get at home, the master reference monitor can, but the size of it is really tiny and it costs like a car. So for us, it's important to have a technology and a company that can provide us with the right tools. LG feels like the right tool to me. The client trusts it, we trust it. It's very easy to calibrate and to put it in the mode that we want it to be. And it's not, it doesn't cost like a car. It's a nice TV to have, and the size is, here in the room I have a 77-inch. It's client really like it. So my favorite movie to watch on my LG at home, I love The Matrix. Matrix is great because it gives you color used in the movie to represent two different worlds. You know exactly when you are in and out of the Matrix because, of course, set dressing and set designer and everything else, but also the actual color immediately tell you I'm in, I'm out. The other one is, the Star Wars trilogies. All three of the three trilogies. I will watch from the first to the last movie in one swap if I have to. When I was interviewed by the director of photography in the studio to work on GreenBook, one thing that we both agree, we want to give the look and feel of an old movie. So, of course, the best thing you can do is probably shoot it in film and finish it in film, but we are in the digital era, so they shot it on digital, of course. I guess it was an Alexa camera, if I remember correctly. But we model the main color space to mimic what film could have done. And then scene by scene, it's a journey. It's a journey of our two protagonists that go from New York all across the country. So every little place, we try to give a slightly different flavor of it. However, the photography was amazing, so it was very easy to do. Ooh, Star Wars. So, it's actually much simpler than what we think. They have those lightsaber and model and the Falcon down to a science. So, for me, it's more about do not mess it up than do something to it. Oh, a favorite sequence. So, because for me it's very emotional, the whole final battle starting from the Salt Flats. So there's a very emotional moment there, and I think it's my favorite, scene and battle. And when you see it, on a big LG screen, it brings me back tears every time. That's another one. Dunkirk is another one of those projects where people don't quite know what went behind the scene. So let me explain very briefly. Christopher Nolan liked to finish traditionally. It means negative cutter, traditional print. The digital aspect of it, so what we saw in the theater, in the digital theater, has to be a faithful representation of the print. So now it became a science experiment. You're not a colorist anymore, you're a scientist. So the characterization of the actual workflow took us 3 months. And then the color correction was actually not that difficult because you have a final print from the 65 5 perf of the final cut neg, the hero print. And I had the hero print of Dunkirk on my hand, and I was threading them on a projector in the booth. And we played together the digital and the film together. I said they have to match. So for me, color in Dunkirk is respect the photochemical process as close as technologically possible. There's very little decision that we took in building up to it. We could project the film and the digital together. They were really matching. The first big change is definitely digital projection. So when I started, we were, yes, coloring, but we had to go back to film. So the digital projection were, far and few between, and you use that just a representation of what the print will look like. Around 2005, 6, 7, there start to be a lot of digital projectors in the field. Now we decouple our creativity from the constraint of going back to film. So the whole technological step of going back to film is lifted. Now we can explore digital projection in its entirety, in the whole color that it can reproduce. And after just a little bit, we were able to just have in every theater with digital projection. Now, do I love film? Yes, I love film, and I like to see film. I went to see Oppenheimer, I went to see the IMAX because I want to see film. But I also enjoy the ability for everybody to see the same image even 5, 10, 20 years from now. So digital projection gives us that step. Everybody in the world can see the same image without scratches or dust or whatever. And the second big step for me was when I start to see HDR. So now at home, we have devices capable of showing us brighter image, better color, better contrast. So if up to that point, it's kind of this is the best we can do. Now, we have a new canvas, we have a new palette, how we can use it. And it's a battle between you want to be conservative and no, let's use it. Let's go where the limit is and let's find these limits. My preferred setup for watching movie at home, it depends, because I love to watch it with my kids. So we do the Saturday night movie night. I have an LG on the wall. I have a 5.1 surround system. We get the Coke or the popcorn and we watch movie. The only challenge is they're kids movie. Oh, tips for calibrating monitor. So I see the appeal of some of the intricacy of showing, high frequency rates or smooth motion, or just giving a different flavor, in various settings the TV has. I always recommend to go cinematographer mode because it's very close to the way we intended. And it really, the idea is trying to give you back. Of course, if you have somebody that knows how to calibrate TV, hey, calibrate your TV is always a good thing. So while the device itself, the TV itself is fantastic, we always want to be assured that the environment also complement the technology. I will reply with, go outside, go look at the leaf of a plant. It depends. It depends the sun position, the leaf itself, the color, if there is dirt, it depends where you are in the latitude of the planet. So there is so much subjectivity on it. But you go down basically to two major branches. And if you think about painting, there is a naturalistic painting and there is an impressionistic painting. And color kind of have the same idea behind it. The director told me, I don't want this to look naturalistic. I want this to look an impressionistic painting. So now I have the ability to go and push it further. So those are aspects of what a good shot look like. But the third aspect, that is the most important one, whatever the color or the word you choose has to support the story. So, like I mentioned before, I'm finishing Sweet Tooth Season 3. This will be the third and last season, so we go to the grand finale. And it's funny because we are coloring that, on the 77-inch LG that we have in the room, so it's very appropriate. the next movie I'm going to work on will be Francis Ford Coppola Megalopolis. That will be exciting. They will be finished in Toronto, so we're going to fly to Toronto in a couple of months. So, guys and girls, thank you very much for having me here. Final thoughts is difficult because there are so many things I would like to say to you, but be prepared, be on time, listen to the other people, and do what you love to do. Thank you very much for everybody.